Welcome to the start of our backyard orchard. These are 6 apple trees and 3 cherry trees of different varieties, and in this video we're going to take you through how we planted them. We got started with the 3 cherry trees to figure out our process until we ran out of daylight.
Pro tip, don't start digging holes at 8 o'clock at night.
We're gonna run out of daylight.
So what's that mean, Alex?
That means we're only getting 3 trees in a night. Stark Bros Nurseries graciously sent us out these trees to plant, and we're gonna take you along each step of the way, from digging the hole, how we're positioning them, the spacing, and everything else you need to know.
If you're not familiar with Stark Bros, they are a mail order delivery nursery, so you can order your trees online and they will ship them to your door. They'll come in about a 4-foot long box. All 9 of our trees came in the same box. They're shipped bare root, which means that they don't really have any dirt around them. They're going to be surrounded with some paper and they're going to be moist. So once you receive those trees, you're going to want to plant them within a week. If you're unable to plant within the first few days that you receive them, the key is to keep those roots moist until you're ready to plant. It's recommended that you soak the roots of your fruit trees before you plant them outdoors. This can be anywhere from 2 to 6 hours, but you really don't want to exceed that time limit. Each tree will come with a tag that indicates what the variety is and the sizing of the tree. So you don't have to memorize what you ordered, and you can reference this when you plant.
They also sent these QR codes, which takes you right to the instructions you need to know in both video and written formats.
Dwarf and semi-dwarf are the 2 most common sizes of fruit trees that you'll see. This indicates how large that tree will grow, and obviously the larger the tree, the harder it is going to be to harvest the fruit. Our cherry trees are dwarf trees and our apple trees are semi-dwarf. If you want to know the exact spacing you need for each different type of trees, you'll go to the Stark Bros website and they have it listed there.
The area we chose to plant these in is in full sun exposure. That's the south facing side. So our first row is cherry trees. Those are our dwarf trees. That way when they're full grown, they will not shade the semi-dwarf apple trees. Fruit trees need at least 6 hours of sunlight in the prime growing season, ideally 8. The first thing we did was mowed the grass down real low here just to keep excess grass out of our way.
Do you want to stagger Scarlet Crush, other type, Scarlet Crush,
Sure.
Other type? Okay, let's try it, see what that does.
Our spacing is going to be 12 feet for all these trees.
Are we even in that frame?
No, that's a Scarlet Crush.
Okay, so then we'll do Brayburn next.
Let's make sure our spacing is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's good. That's 12 feet. 12 feet.
Our measurement technique is very exact. We're using Alex's steps to figure
4
out.
steps, 12 feet.
4 steps are 12 feet, according to Alex. So that's what we're gonna go with. We have our 3 cherry trees over there, and then we're gonna do 1 line of 6 of the apple trees. We decided to stagger the trees. You'll see cherry here and then the apple there. We just think that from an aesthetic standpoint, it's gonna look a little bit better. Other than that, there's no rhyme or reason.
To help get things in a straight line, we stretched a string out and then I used some marking chalk to put a dot where we wanted each tree. This might have seemed like an extra step, but it actually really helped when it came time to dig holes. Then we dug 2-foot diameter holes centered around our little blue dots and went about a foot deep. It's more important to go wider than deeper when it comes to fruit trees because the root systems are pretty shallow and they want to go out instead of down. The wider hole gives loamy soil where the roots want to expand to and helps the tree grow. Then we put some water in each hole to sort of pre-soak it. We learned pretty quickly not to overdo it here because it was a lot tougher to compact the backfill soil later on. Now Elaina is taking a rough measurement of where the tree should sit in the ground. The graft union, which is this round part here, should sit 2 to 3 inches above the topsoil.
We are planting all of the trees in native soil. We start by putting it into the hole, getting it stabilized with that soil, and then we tamp down around the root system. You really want to make sure that you have soil to root contact, and if you just kind of let it be and don't tamp it down, then you're going to have a lot of air in there. So we like to do that. And then the last thing that we're doing is using some topsoil that we have, and we're putting that on top as a top layer. Once all of the trees are planted, you want to make sure you give them a nice water. We initially put some water in the first 2 holes that we did and then backfilled with the dirt, but we found that it was really hard to tamp the soil down properly whenever we had that water in the hole. This is partially because our soil type is clay and it just doesn't absorb the water super quickly. So we decided that we're going to save the water until the end.
Now that the trees are in the ground, last things to do are put our little spiral tree guards on. These protect the base of the tree from insects damaging the bark while it's trying to grow. Then we will mulch around it. I think I'm gonna drive a stake just to try to keep them upright a little bit better. A couple of these cherries have some vegetation down low here, so I decided I can't really use the tree guard too far up on these guys. At least it'll help at the base though. This mulch is actually leftover stump grindings from a tree we had taken out not too long ago. Probably at least a 100-year-old maple tree. Now giving new life to these brand new baby trees. To support these, I'm just loosely gonna tie this zip tie around the trunk here and then do another one through my stake. Don't wanna bind the tree as it gets older, just enough to keep it from falling down in a big storm or something like that. I'm just gonna sort of do a zip tie figure 8. Should still give it some room to move. Last step is to give these thirsty little guys a drink. I sort of made a volcano of mulch here to help contain the water, so it all just gets funneled right down to the roots. The mulch should then help keep the water in from evaporating out of the ground.
In 3 to 5 years, we should be picking some apples and cherries off these trees. Thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.